Deep under Mars, in a hidden lab known only as Black Echo, Earth scientists gathered in silence. On the table before them floated a hologram. It showed the human warship, the Silence, but this time they were looking inside it. Dr. Kira Mendez stared at the strange energy patterns. "This isn't ours," she whispered. General Hadron, standing beside her, frowned. "We built the frame, didn't we?" Kira shook her head. "We built the outside. But this," she pointed at the glowing blue core, "this was already inside the asteroid we found. Years ago, Earth miners discovered a massive asteroid floating alone near the edge of the solar system. It was strange, too smooth, too cold, and giving off no signals. Inside, they found something buried deep in the rock, a small sphere, pulsing with soft blue light. No one could explain it. They brought it back. Scientists studied it. Engineers placed it inside a new warship, hoping it was some form of power source. They called the ship the Silence, because it never made a sound when powered on. And then, one day, it simply left. No commands, no pilots, no explanation. "Did we lose control of it?" General Hadron asked. "No," Kira said. "I don't think we ever had control. I think it let us use it. For a time." The others stared at her. "You're saying it's alive?" someone whispered. "I'm saying," Kira replied, "it's older than anything we know. And it chose Earth. But not forever." On the other side of the galaxy, in the ruins of a dead world, the Nara watched from afar. Their leader, Errol the Gray Flame, sat in silence. He remembered the old wars, the ships that erased suns, the beings who built the Silence, long before humans walked upright. And now humans had found one. "Do they know what they carry?" asked a young Nara. "No," Errol said, "but they will learn." Back on Earth, news of the Velkar defeat had leaked. Most people didn't believe it. One ship taking down 10 warships, without firing? But the government remained quiet. No denial, no comment. That made people wonder, and fear. A reporter named Lena Voss began digging. She spoke to old engineers, retired miners, even former military pilots. They all said the same thing. There was something strange about that ship. It didn't act like a machine. It didn't feel human. Meanwhile, on a research outpost orbiting Saturn, another sphere was found. Just like the one inside the Silence. This one was buried deep in the ice, frozen for what looked like millions of years. As the scientists approached, the lights flickered. Systems shut down. Strange symbols appeared on their screens, symbols no one recognized. Then the sphere began to hum. The lead scientist ran to the comms. "Earth Command, this is Outpost N9. We found another one. I repeat, we found." The transmission cut off. General Hadron got the report. "We need to secure that site now," he said. Kira Mendez stared at the data. "If there's another one, there could be more." "How many?" Hadron asked. Kira didn't answer. Because the truth was, they didn't know how many ships like the Silence were hidden across the stars. Across the galaxy, alien empires began to panic. What if Earth had more of those ships? What if they didn't just find one, but controlled them? Some races wanted to strike first, end the threat before it grew. Others wanted peace, treat the humans with respect, keep them calm, and a few just wanted to run. On a lonely moon, a single monk from the Yaltori orders spoke to the wind. He whispered ancient words from a forgotten book. "When the star killers sleep, do not wake them. When the Silence speaks, do not answer." Then he looked at the sky and said one more thing. But the humans, they already did. Back on Mars, Kira stood in front of a secure chamber. Inside, the second sphere was placed on a pedestal. It didn't move, didn't glow, until she stepped closer. Then it pulsed once, just once. Kira gasped. Her calm crackled. A whisper filled the room. "You are not ready." She turned to General Hadron. "We didn't activate it," she said. It activated itself. The message was clear. This was your only warning. But the Velkar Dominion did not listen. In the high tower of Velkar Prime, Grand Commander Relzek sat on a throne of cold steel. Around him, generals and admirals argued. The room buzzed with anger and pride. A human ship made our vessel shut down. One general shouted, "Impossible." "They're lying," another said. "Some power failure. Nothing more." But a tall officer stepped forward. It was Captain Zorak's return from the mission. "It was no failure," he said. "The human ship did not fire, but it made 2 of our ships vanish. It shut down our systems like we were toys." Relzek narrowed his eyes. "Do you fear this ship?" Zorex didn't answer. That was enough. Relzek stood. "Then we will remind the galaxy who we are." A fleet of 10 Velkar warships was prepared. Each one carried weapons strong enough to break moons. Shields layered like armor, AI defense ready, crews trained for war. Their mission was simple: destroy the human ship. The galaxy watched in silence. In deep space, the human vessel waited. No movement, no sign of fear. The Velkar fleet surrounded it. "Target locked," one commander said. "Begin attack," Relzek ordered from his command ship, the Wrath of Stars. The first missile launched. It screamed across space, fast, sharp, deadly. But halfway to the target, it vanished. No sound, no flash, just gone. "What happened?" the Velkar commander asked. "Unknown," replied the AI. "Missile no longer exists. Fire again." They launched 2 more. Same result. Then the human ship moved, slow, calm like a shark swimming through stars. A strange sound echoed through the Velkar fleet, low like a hum. But they felt it inside their ships, inside their minds. "What is that sound?" a pilot asked. "I don't know," someone whispered. "But it's not coming through speakers. It's in our heads." One of the Velkar ships, Hunter's Claw, turned to escape. But it stopped moving. Then its lights went out. And it vanished. No explosion. No wreckage. Just empty space where a ship had been. The fleet fell silent. Relzek shouted, "Form defensive position." Ships spread out. Shields up. Weapons ready. But nothing worked. One by one, ships began to fail. Blade Storm lost power. Iron Pulse began spinning out of control. Night Maw, its crew screamed before going silent. No shots fired from the human ship. Still, Velkar ships kept falling. A transmission came in, open channel. The human voice again, calm, unshaken. "You came here with war. You were warned. Now you will remember." Relzek shouted, "Fire everything. Now." The last 7 ships launched all weapons. Lasers, missiles, plasma storms. The space lit up like a sun. But when the light faded, the human ship was still there, untouched. Then it moved. This time faster. It flew straight through one of the Velkar ships. Not crashed, passed through it like a ghost. The ship split in half. No fire, no sound, just a clean, silent cut. The crew didn't even have time to scream. Relzek's ship, the Wrath of Stars, began shaking. "Core is overheating." A tech shouted, "Shut it down." Relzek yelled, "We can't. Something is controlling it from outside." The ship's AI flickered. "Surrender or be erased." Relzek growled, "Never." He pulled a lever, emergency escape. Relzek's pod shot into space. From the small window, he watched in horror. The human ship floated toward the rest of his dying fleet. In minutes, 5 more ships were gone. And then, the human ship stopped. It sent one final message to the remaining escape pods. "We do not seek war, but if you bring it, we will end it." Across the stars, the galaxy held its breath. The mighty Velkar Dominion had sent 10 warships. Only escape pods returned. And the human ship never fired a single weapon. On distant worlds, whispers spread. Have you heard of the silent ship? They say it doesn't kill, it erases. Is it human or something else? One trader told a tale in a bar, voice low. They laughed at humans, now they don't laugh anymore. In the center of a giant alien ship, a group of officers sat around a glowing blue table. Their faces were cold, their eyes sharp, and their voices full of pride. They were part of the Velkar Dominion, the most powerful empire in the galaxy. The Velkar had ruled space for thousands of years. They had crushed other races, destroyed planets, and stolen technology from across the stars. To them, no one could challenge their power, especially not humans. Captain Zorax leaned back in his chair, a glass of green liquid in his hand. Have you seen their ships? He said, laughing. So slow, so old, like flying metal boxes. The officers chuckled. They still use heat-based engines, said First Officer Krez. No cloaking, no teleportation, no smart AI. They are primitive. They're weak, added another. I heard they still use bullets in some weapons. More laughter filled the room. A young officer named Tellin looked at his screen. Captain, he said, a human ship has entered our outer zone. Small vessel. Alone. Captain Zorax grinned. Perfect. Let's have some fun. The Velkar warship Zaltherak turned toward the human signal. Its armor was thick, its weapons strong. It had destroyed 5 pirate fleets just last week. A single human ship would be no challenge. As they got closer, the human ship came into view. It floated silently in space. No movement, no sound. What is it doing? Krez asked. Sleeping maybe, Zorax joked. Let's wake it up. He gave the order. A scanning beam hit the human ship. But nothing happened. No data coming back, Tellin said. That's strange. Our scanners can't read it. What do you mean? Zorax asked. Scan again. They tried. Nothing. The human ship didn't respond. No energy reading, no weapon systems detected. It was like the ship wasn't there at all. Try to hail them, Zorax said. Tellin sent a message. No reply. This is strange, Krez said. Even old ships answer calls. Zorax stood up, sent a probe. A small drone flew toward the human ship. It got closer, and vanished. What just happened? Someone shouted. Probe lost, Tellin said. Signal cut. No explosion. It's just gone. For the first time, the room fell silent. Hours passed. The Velkar ship circled the human vessel, watching. Still no response. No attack. No retreat. Maybe it's a trap, one officer said. Zorax growled. We are the Velkar. We don't fear traps. He sent a small patrol ship next. It had shields, weapons, and a full crew. The patrol ship moved in. Closer. And then nothing. The screen went black. The Velkar officers stared in disbelief. No explosion, Krez said. No signal. The whole ship is gone. Zorax slammed his fist on the table. What is this thing? Before anyone could speak, the human ship moved. Just a little. Its engines turned on, but the glow was strange. Not heat, not plasma, something else. A strange hum echoed through the Velkar ship's walls. Lights flickered. One officer screamed, holding his head. It's inside my mind, he whispered. Then a voice echoed across their bridge. It was calm, cold, and human. Leave now. This is your only warning. The Velkar officers froze. Did they hack our systems? Tellin asked, voice shaking. No, Krez said. The message didn't come from a channel. It came from everywhere. Zorax narrowed his eyes. Charge weapons. Weapons offline, Tellin said. What? Shields too. I can't explain it. On the screen, the human ship turned slowly, its nose facing the Velkar warship. For the first time, the proud Velkar Dominion felt something strange. Fear. Far away, On a listening post orbiting a dead moon, another alien race picked up the signal. They heard the human message too. One technician looked at his partner. "Did you hear that?" "Yes," a human voice. "Are they fighting the Velker?" "No," the technician whispered, eyes wide. "The Velker are trying to fight them." Back on the bridge of the Zeltherok, silence filled the air. Captain Zorak stared at the human ship. "It's just one vessel," he said quietly. "One." Krez turned to him, voice low. "Then why? Does it feel like the whole galaxy just changed?" The Velker fleet was gone. 10 powerful warships had faced one human vessel. Only silence remained. On a trade station near the Rim Worlds, news spread fast. Traders, smugglers, and bounty hunters gathered in bars and docking bays. Everyone spoke of the same thing. They didn't even fight back. They didn't need to. No wreckage, no escape, just gone. Some laughed nervously. Others packed their bags, eyes full of fear. In a dark room, a bounty hunter watched a replay. The footage showed the human ship floating still and silent as the Velkar missiles vanished mid-flight. "That's no normal human tech," he muttered. His partner nodded. "Maybe it's alien, or maybe the humans have been hiding something." "Whatever it is," the bounty hunter said, "I don't want to be near it." Across the galaxy, other empires took notice. The Rutheri clans, known for their firestorms, canceled their raids on human colonies. The Jinka Hive, masters of cyber attacks, blocked all signals toward human space. The Uran Syndicate, once mocking Earth's slow growth, now deleted every file they had on humans. Fear was growing and fast. On Earth, people didn't know what had happened. The warship that caused it all, known only as the Silence, had never reported back. It had left quietly months ago on a mission only top commanders knew. Even Earth's leaders didn't fully understand the technology aboard it. But now, the galaxy did. On a jungle moon, a group of alien pirates planned a raid. They had maps, weapons, ships ready. Then they heard the rumor. A single human ship erased the Velkar fleet. What? That can't be real. They say it spoke to them. Then it shut them down. No fire, no battle. The pirate leader went quiet. Then he crushed the map. "Forget the humans. We'll raid somewhere else." On Velkar Prime, panic spread among the High Council. Grand Commander Relzek had returned in shame. His escape pod landed without honor. His rank was gone. Now he sat alone, drinking bitter root wine, eyes red with hate. "We lost everything," he whispered, to a ghost. But another voice behind him said, "It wasn't a ghost. It was a message." He turned. It was Kriven, the quiet science officer. "You were warned. We were all warned. And we didn't listen." Relzek growled, "Then what do we do now?" Kriven looked up at the stars. "We stay silent. We let the humans be." Back in deep space, on a hidden listening station orbiting a dead star, a group of ancient beings watched it all. They were the Nara, a forgotten race, once rulers of the galaxy before vanishing into legend. Now they spoke softly among themselves. They'd found it. The Silence has returned, and it chose the humans. One Nara asked, "Do we stop them?" The oldest Nara shook his head. "No. If the humans truly understand the Silence, then the galaxy must prepare." In a research base near Mars, a young Earth scientist was working late. He stared at strange blueprints, the kind no one was supposed to see. He traced the lines of energy, the impossible shapes of the silent ship's core. His eyes were tired, but full of wonder. Then he whispered, "We didn't build this. We just turned it on." Behind him, a shadow moved. A voice said, "And now the galaxy is listening." On a quiet colony near the edge of known space, a child looked up at the stars. He pointed and asked, "Is that where the bad aliens live?" His mother smiled weakly. "Not anymore." Now, when alien ships flew near Earth, they stayed far away. Now, when humans walked into intergalactic meetings, everyone watched, and no one laughed. Now the story of one ship had changed everything. The galaxy didn't fear Earth's armies. It feared what Earth had found. And no one knew how many more of those ships were waiting. The Velkar warship Zaltharok floated in space, quiet and still. But inside, the bridge was full of panic. Captain Zorak stood frozen, staring at the screen. The human ship had just spoken. It gave a warning, calm, cold, and without fear. "Leave now. This is your only warning." Kriz, the first officer, looked pale. "Captain, I think we should go." Zorak shook his head. "It's one ship. One. We are the Velkar Dominion. We don't run from humans." But his voice was not as strong as before. On the screen, the human ship didn't move. It just floated in space, quiet and empty. It had no visible weapons, no shields, no attack patterns. It looked like a dead ship. But it had already made 2 Velkar vessels disappear. "Try to scan it again," Zorax ordered. Tulin pressed buttons. The scanner beeped, then blinked red. "No data. It's like the ship is not real." "What do you mean?" Zorax barked. "I mean, the ship is there, but every system says it's not," Tulin replied. "It has no mass, no heat, no energy signature, nothing." Another officer added, "Sir, I think it's hiding something." The science officer, a quiet Velkar named Kriven, stepped forward. He was older, and he rarely spoke. "I have read old records," Kriven said. "There are stories of silent ships, vessels made by a lost race. They used energy that could not be measured." Jorax frowned. "Are you saying this is not a human ship?" "No," Kriven said slowly. "I'm saying maybe the humans found something. Something old. Something dangerous." Suddenly the lights dimmed. The ship's power flickered. "What now?" Zorak shouted. "All systems are acting strange," Telin said. "Weapons won't respond. AI is offline. Like support is dropping by 5%. Then the ship's alarms started to sound, but no one knew why. Outside the window, the human ship moved for the first time. It didn't rush. It didn't fire. It simply glided closer, slow and silent. Zorak stared at it. "Ready missiles." No response, Telin said. "It's like the ship is ignoring us." Another voice came from the intercom. It wasn't human this time. It was the Velkar AI. "Warning, foreign code detected. Identity unknown. Defense systems disabled." "What foreign code?" Zorax growled. Krez turned to him, face pale. "The human ship. It's rewriting our ship systems. From the outside." In a hidden corner of the galaxy, other races listened. The Velkar were feared by all. Their warships were nightmares in space. But now everyone was watching them go silent. A merchant captain whispered, "What kind of human ship can break a Velkar warship without firing a shot?" Back on Zaltharok, panic spread. "We must fire now," Zorak shouted. "I told you, weapons are down," Telin repeated. The human ship stopped, floating just a few kilometers away. Then it sent another message. No sound, just text on the screen. "You were warned." Zorak stared at the words. "Maybe it's bluffing," he said, though he didn't believe it himself. Suddenly, the bridge lights turned red. Hull alarms screamed. "We're losing pressure on Deck 3. There's a breach, but nothing hit us. Sir, systems are shutting down room by room." One by one, rooms on the Velkar ship went dark. The crew couldn't move, couldn't fight, couldn't run. It was like the human ship was taking their warship apart, slowly, carefully, silently. "This is not a ship," Kriven said softly. "It's a message." Zorax turned to him. "What do you mean?" Kriven looked at the human vessel. "It's showing us what it can do. It's not attacking. It's teaching us fear." Then, just as suddenly, everything stopped. The alarms went quiet. Lights came back on. Life support returned. All screens showed one line. This was your only warning. And then the human ship vanished. No flash, no jump. It just disappeared. Silence filled the bridge. The proud Velkar officers didn't speak. For the first time in their lives, they felt powerless. Captain Zorak sat down slowly. His face was pale, his eyes wide. "We need to report this," he said quietly. "No," Privam replied. "If the other Velkar learn what we saw, they will want to fight. And then we will all die." The second sphere had awakened. It pulsed with slow, deep light. Not bright, but alive. Dr. Kira Mendez stepped back. Her hand shook. "It knew I was here," she said quietly. General Hadron stared through the glass, face pale. How was that possible? Before she could answer, the power in the lab flickered. Every screen turned black. Then one sentence appeared. The second voices joined. At the edge of the solar system, the silence, the first ship stirred. Its dark hull rippled like water. Its engines lit up on their own. It began to move. Not with fuel. Not with force. But with purpose. In alien skies across the galaxy, warnings flashed. Human anomaly active. Unknown signal spreading. Energy spike, matching silence core signature. The galaxy panicked. In council halls and war rooms, powerful species met in secret. One said, "If Earth has more of these ships, we're finished." Another said, "They'll never use them unless we strike." A third said, "You want to take that chance." The Velkar Dominion, still licking its wounds, offered a bitter warning. They didn't fire. They didn't chase. They just erased. But still, some empires prepared for war. They gathered fleets, charged weapons, planned attacks. They believed they still had a chance. They didn't. Back on Earth, strange things began to happen. Weather patterns shifted. Satellites moved on their own. In the night sky, new stars appeared, then vanished. And the whispers began. Not from humans, but from the spheres. In the lab on Mars, Kira placed her hand on the second sphere's surface. The whisper grew louder. The third waits, the fourth watches, the fifth is coming. She looked at General Hadron. There are more. How many more? She shook her head. I don't know, but they're all waking up. Meanwhile, the silence stopped moving. It hovered above Neptune, still, silent, until the sky around it cracked. Not physically, but like space itself had split. And from the tear, another ship emerged. It looked like the silence, but older, bigger, with symbols no one could read. It didn't come from Earth. It came from the deep, from before. In the listening station beyond Pluto, alarms screamed. New contact. Unknown origin. No energy signature, yet it's moving faster than light. What do we do? No one answered. Because no one had a plan for this. Inside Earth's command bunker, a decision had to be made. General Hadron turned to Kira. Can we talk to it? She said nothing. Then the comms crackled, and a message played. Not from Earth, not from the new ship, but from both ships, speaking as one. You touched the edge. You woke the first. Now the rest shall rise. Do not fear, but do not try to control. We chose you because you are still growing. But if you grow the wrong way, we will choose again. Across the galaxy, war fleets froze. Ships ready to fire stopped moving. Weapons powered down on their own. And then, they saw it. Not just one ship. Not just two. But five. 5 ancient vessels, floating across space, as if they had always been there, waiting for someone to notice. Each shaped differently. Each marked with unknown signs. Each awake. The silence spread again, not just from the first ship, but from all of them. Not just through space, but through thoughts. Every being across every system felt something. A voice without words, a presence without form. A single, quiet truth. You are not the top. You never were. But you may be, if you learn. The galaxy changed in that moment. Not through war. Not through destruction. But through understanding. Empires stood down. Councils rewrote laws. Enemies became silent allies. And Earth became the center of a secret so powerful that even the stars whispered it. They once thought humans were weak. They once laughed at Earth's slow ships and small armies. Now, they feared even a whisper of Earth's name. Not because of weapons, not because of war, but because of what followed Earth. Because of what Earth had awakened. And above Neptune, the 5 ships waited, watching, not to protect, not to destroy, but to see what humanity would do next.